Like they did back in 2019. Are you paying attention? The World Economic Forum says a cyber pandemic is inevitable. Their solution is to shut it down and reboot the world. They're planning to shut down the grid. Look it up. This is not a joke. Share, repost, and comment your thoughts. Here's what a theoretical timeline could actually look like based on cybersecurity statistics. Best case scenario, 2 to 3 days. They isolate infected systems, kill the network, and start patching. No internet, no power, no access to anything digital. That's just to stop the spread. The moderate scenario, 1 to 2 weeks. Millions of systems get manually inspected one by one. Banks, ATMs, emergency services, everything has to be rebuilt and tested. Worst case, 3 weeks or more. We're talking core systems deeply infected, like utilities, banking, military, and our supply chain. Recovery could take months. No fuel, no deliveries, no clean water, and supply chains frozen. This is their plan. Some experts say that there's no other way. They call it sanitizing the digital space. But for the rest of us, it's a forced shutdown of the modern world. If this happens, it won't be about when we get back online. It'll be about who survived after it's over. Global blackout. They're saying it out loud, just like they did back in 2019. Are you paying attention? The World Economic Forum says a cyber pandemic is inevitable. Their solution is to shut it down and reboot the world. They're planning to shut down the grid. Look it up. This.
Already. Shalom, Israel. I want to start by giving all glory and praises to YAHAWAH, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Rather, I'm one for dance every Florida for the camp prophets of Babylon. Come another quick hit to this man by BAHASHAM YAHWASHI. Lord wanted to edify and feed the sheep. Devil honest that I was an apostle, great milestone, teach you well. Peace and blessings to the brothers who are pushing this work into sincerity to this guy, the BARAK. Now I'm going to run this video back. All right, just going into what this guy is saying. All right, that they are talking about a potential cyber pandemic. Okay, which is this, of that agenda of the WEF, which is the World Economic Forum, which these devils are, plotting to do, which according to Micah 2:1, which we know that these devils, always working on some type of scheme, man. All right, and this is the works of, those who are in power today. Esau, Edom, so-called white man. All right, which I'm going to grab this and then play a little bit of video. Then I'm going to grab these scriptures and bring it out. All right, but this is Micah 2:1. It says, woe and destruction to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. When the morning is light, they practice it because it is in the power of their hand. All right, now I'll play this video and it's going to go into it.
Loud, just like they did back in 2019. Are you paying attention? The World Economic Forum says a cyber pandemic is inevitable. Their solution is to shut it down and reboot the world. They're planning to shut down the grid. Look it up. This is not a joke. Share, repost, and comment your thoughts. Here's what a theoretical timeline could actually look like based on cybersecurity statistics. Best case scenario, 2 to 3 days. They isolate infected systems, kill the network, and start patching. No internet, no power, no access to anything digital. That's just to stop the spread. The moderate scenario, 1 to 2 weeks. Millions of systems get manually inspected one by one. Banks, ATMs, emergency services, everything has to be rebuilt and tested. Worst case, 3 weeks or more. We're talking core systems deeply infected, like utilities, banking, military, and our supply chain. Recovery could take months. No fuel, no deliveries, no clean water, and supply chains frozen. This is their plan. Some experts say that there's no other way. They call it sanitizing the digital space. But for the rest of us, it's a forced shutdown of the modern world. If this happens, it won't be about when we get back online. It'll be about who survived after it's over.
All right. And as you heard in the video, okay, about this thing being a cyber pandemic, man. All right, brought me to this article. All right, ABC News, where it just recently came out that you had it where Puerto Rico, all right, was hit with another massive power outage. Okay, another massive power outage, which they recently just had one not too long ago, which they could keep recurring with these power outages. Okay, you had one that happened in Chile, all right, that was not probably like a few months ago. All right, well, these power outages are happening, okay, around the world, just leads to where here and now it could be a potential power outage in America, man. Okay, and you have it with Puerto Rico is considered part of the United States, man. Okay, but I'm gonna grab this in NBC News. It says Puerto Rico plugged into darkness again as island wild. Oh, Slocky. It says as island wide blackout hits. Okay, and this is the article going into it, man. Okay, it says Puerto Rico was hit by another massive power outage Wednesday, leaving the United States territory in the dark for the second time in 4 months, officials say. So this is for the second time, all right, you have it where this power outage has hit over there in Puerto Rico, okay? And this is something that is being orchestrated, okay, through, all right, these outages going out, man. And, you could tell, all right, by the constant test of these power outages going out and what the people are reacting and how they're going about it is being put to use, because this ain't just happening for no reason, man. This all coming out about it could be a cyber attack, or it could be a power outage, or the power grid can go down. This ain't being talked about for nothing, man. All right, we know that these works of these things are behind Esau Edom, man. Scripture says, matter of fact, I'll grab it. For we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, in which we'll get back into that Micah 2:10, or 2:1, okay? But let's grab that. For we're not ignorant of Satan's devices. In 2 Corinthians 2:11, it says, lest Satan should get the advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. So we know that when these things take place upon this, upon this place, we know that this devil is working, okay, his evil works amongst the earth, man. And he's running out of time, so he's making things move rapidly, okay? So before they bring it here in the States, okay, they have to do it elsewhere. Okay, they have to do it in other places, man, which shows you that how these other places react to it here in America is going to, have some similar effect. So they're using it as a test subject now. I speak as a man, seeing that this is something that through the spirit that these devils could be possibly doing and orchestrating, but knowing that this is how these devils work behind closed doors, this is a potential thing that they do, okay, as of setting things up, like you seen with the C-19, where it started over in China, but it gravitated over here to the States, okay, and they played on the backstory about that, and it just was just a bunch of confusion, but it ended up being something that hit here in America massively, man. So how much more when it comes to these lights going out, okay? Reading that again, 2 Corinthians, like here, 2:11. Lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we're not ignorant of his devices. So we're not ignorant to what this devil is using his tools to deceive the people by, man. We're not ignorant to these things. Starting with those in Apostle MILLSTONE it down, okay, through the spirit powered by YAHAWASHI. We see this devil is moving quickly and moving in a strategized way. Okay, he's using his craftiness, his way of, deceiving to benefit off of himself, man. All right, so he's using his things, his tools, to pretty much make himself look good when the outcome comes to being a chaos and order needs to be established, because they love a chaos or order out of chaos, kind of scenery, all right, that they already have set up, all right, to be how it is. All right, so bring that back into, which brings us back to Micah 2:1. Okay, it says, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their beds. So when you have this guy talking about, what they're trying to do with the WEF, it's not a coincidence, man, because these are things are massive things that they would do while they have that technology and power to do so. which I'm going to play a little bit of this video again once again, but I'm going to finish it up. It says, Micah 2:1, woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon their bed. So this is something that they get amongst each other, and they come together and conjure up some wickedness of thoughts of what they want to do, plan, however you want to put it, and they put it into motion. It says, when the morning is light, they practice it, so they put it to play, because it is in the power of their hands. So they have the power to do these things. Proceeding to Job 9:24, the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. All right, we don't know this numerous of times identifying who the wicked is. Esau, Edom, so-called white man that's ruling the earth today. Okay, but playing this video.
Wow, just like they did back in 2019. Are you paying attention? The World Economic Forum says a cyber pandemic is inevitable.
And they said that the cyber pandemic is inevitable. Okay, and let's look up that word inevitable. Okay, and see what it's got to say. I'm just gonna go on Google right quick. All right, and type it in. Inevitable. Okay, let's see. It's like a bear with me. Inevitable. All right, there we go. And it says, let me see. It says, certain to happen, unavoidable. Okay? Inevitable. Okay? What it is said is certain to happen, unavoidable. Slakia. Okay? I'm going to play this again.
Inevitable.
So this is what they're saying, that is unavoidable, so it's going to come regardless, okay? Some way, somehow, some fashion, some form, they're going to bring this, man, okay? And this is the World Economic Forum. All right, these are people who have some high position. All right, playing this video.
Is inevitable. Their solution is to shut it down and reboot the world.
And that's their iniquity. That's the devised iniquity. Okay, work evil upon their beds. They're looking to shut it down, okay, and pretty much put a restart on this thing, okay? This is them working the evils upon their beds because they have the power to do so, and they have that kind of ability at this moment, man, okay?
Planning to shut down the grid. Look it up. This is not a joke. Share, repost, and comment your thoughts. Here's what a theoretical timeline could actually look like based on cybersecurity statistics. Best case scenario, 2 to 3 days. They isolate infected systems, kill the network, and start patching. No internet, no power, no access to anything digital. That's just to stop the spread. The moderate scenario, 1 to 2 weeks. Millions of systems get manually inspected one by one. Banks, ATMs, emergency services, everything has to be rebuilt and tested.
And with something like that, all right, where you have to take time to rebuild something, all right, put things back to testing, all right, and do the whole shebang, all right, you're going to have it where multiple people, millions of people are going to be hugely affected. You see why they're overnight trying to get this thing, back up and running. That's going to leave where people are going to start to take action in their own hands, all right. You're going to have people breaking and entering others' homes. All right, there's going to be no pity upon their neighbors, the scripture says in 2 Ezra chapter 15. All right, you're going to have multiple people, who are used to committing crimes, acting on those crimes, man. Okay, multiplying those crimes. All right, you're going to have all those individuals who have those sick thoughts and wicked intentions that's going to play on those actions, man, on those intentions. And they're going to take full advantage of while those lights are out. Okay, when things are dark, man, that's when things get, weird out there, man. All right, and you're going to have those people who don't give a damn, who ain't got nothing to live for, who going to just go out there and do something completely dramatic. All right, because what? Those lights are going to be off. And he gets to explaining it. It could be weeks, days, even months that these devils can move forward. That's why, you have it where you get this time now, man, to seek the Lord, okay? Because soon we're coming to a time where You have this word that's going out now. All right, could soon be taken away just like that, in the snap of a finger, man. When you have it where what the scripture says in Amos 8:11. All right, which I'm gonna grab right quick just to get the point, because this devil can pull this rabbit out of the hat at any time, man. All right, and if it catch you off guard and you haven't been seeking the Lord, or you haven't been called upon Yahawah by Shemel Shai and whatsoever, like you gonna be tucking off guard, man. It's Amos 8:11 that says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahawah by Shemel Shai." All right, power says that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, which is going to this is going to take place. Okay, proceeding to 2nd Ezra chapter 15, but this is talking about something particular. It says, "But of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai." So it's going to be a famine of hearing the word. Okay, and you gonna have it where these people are going to be out here freaking out, losing it, not knowing what's going on. Okay, because what? They didn't take the time or the effort or energy to seek out Yahweh by Shemel Shai. So these people, when those lights cut off, when the internet cut off, these people are gonna freak out. All right, and the worst thing the worst thing that could happen to an individual is to be without knowing what's going on, man. All right, it's like you seeing a horror movie, or you seeing some type of crazy, commotion movie where things is just destruction is going on. Most thing people ask in the movie is what's going on. So those people who don't know what's going on are going to be completely freaking out, man. All right. And this is the times we're coming into. All right. This is all part of our prophecy. It says, I'll read it again. Amos 8:11. It says, "Behold, the days come, saith the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai." It says, that I will send a famine in the land, not a famine of bread, nor a thirst for water, but of hearing the words of the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai. Verse 12, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east. They shall run to and fro to seek the Lord, to seek the word of the Lord Yahweh by Shemel Shai, and shall not find it." And these are the times that we're approaching, okay, where there's going to be people out here who has this liberty to get this word, who has the opportunity to go up to, brothers who are teaching on the corners, the highways and hedges, and teaching this word in truth and sincerity, okay, according to this true doctrine. All right, you have these people who have this liberty now, but they're playing around, they're indulging in their folly, okay, enjoying their mirth. So when all hell breaks loose, these same people who were taking that time to enjoy, mirth, are going to soon come into that state of mourning and sorrow. Okay, the roles are going to flip, and those who are going to have those roles flipped on them, they're going to be out here looking for what those guys that was on the highways and hedges, what those videos that was on YouTube, where they at. They're going to try to look these things up, and they ain't going to be able to find it. They're going to try to go to those places where brothers out, yelling to the top of their lungs, they're going to try to go out of there, and they're not going to see no one, man, because the Lord's going to protect this man. He's going to have us, covered, protected, and ducked off somewhere. But you individuals who don't take heed, you're going to be out here looking dumb in the face, man. Scared and completely lost. That's why I said verse 12, reading again, "And they shall wander from sea to sea, and from the north even to the east." And you have it where people are right now. You have this internet, man. This internet can go stretch across the world. Okay, this word is going. This word is going around. Okay, to the four corners of the earth. All right, and when that time comes, when all hell breaks loose, it ain't gonna be no you didn't know, because there's gonna be many people that's gonna have to hear this word before great destruction and all that comes, man. Okay, so it says, and from the north even to the east, they shall run to and fro to seek the word of the Lord Yahawashi, and shall not find it. All right, and these people are not gonna be able to find this precious word, so they ain't gonna know what to do, and they're gonna retaliate to doing things like the rest of these, imbeciles, man. These people who are here enjoying their mirth and enjoying their life, quote unquote. You just waiting for a nuke to hit you in the forehead, man. Okay, verse 13, it says, "In that day shall the fair virgins and young men faint for thirst." Right. All right, you're gonna have them, young men want young women, okay, seeking out where this word at. But then they're gonna be able to find it, man. And you're never gonna find this wisdom, understanding, knowledge. Okay, and this is for when lights go out, man. That's gonna be a terrible time for you to not know what's going on. All right, it's gonna be a terrible time for you to try to seek seek the Lord, man. The scripture says, "Seek the Lord while he may be found, while he's near." Roughly paraphrasing. So if you're not doing it now, when you got light outside, when you got the internet, when you got you got your fingers to use to type up something, you're not using it now. Okay, you're gonna be completely assed out, man, when these lights go out. Okay, and that's the majority of these people to the state are gonna be in when these lights do go out, man. Potentially go out. Okay, because right now you still have what is still a commotion being spoken about, or even hypothetically speaking. All right, but these devils have these things up their sleeves, so don't think that they won't pull a monkey wrench like this. All right, out the bag, out of nowhere. All right, you got to be aware of your enemy. Let me see. Scripture says, "Never trust thy enemy, man." Okay, but I'm gonna play this video a little bit again.
Worst case, 3 weeks or more. We're talking core systems deeply infected, like utilities, banking, military, and our supply chain. Recovery could take months. No fuel, no deliveries, no clean water, and supply chains frozen. This is their plan. Some experts say
He said there's gonna be no water. Okay, no water supply. All right, and if you know, 2 Ezra chapter 16 verse 22, because when there's no power, there's no food. All right, where I should say this: when there's no power, you got people storing food up. You got all this, refrigerators or freezers, deep freezers. All right, all that's going to completely just start to melt out, and then the food's going to rot out. So you're going to have a lot of food going to waste. A lot of food that's in these storage houses is going to go to waste. All right, a lot of things is going to completely just go to waste. And for you to not have no supply of water, people are not going to be able to clean themselves. The hygiene is going to be completely in stench. Okay, you're going to stink. All right, especially for these women, man. It's going to be a terrible time for these women. All right, if these lights go out, man. It says 2 Ezra 22 and verse 6, verse 22. Yeah, 2 Ezra chapter 6, verse 22. "And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown, and full storage houses shall suddenly be found empty." Okay, ain't gonna be no transportation when these lights go out, man. All right, you ain't gonna have no boats bringing in loads, these cargoes coming in loads. All right, you ain't gonna have no trucks driving around. All right, if there's no lights, you can't see nothing. You can't get around. You can't transport things. Okay, and there's no water. These people that's knowing the fact that supply could go scarce. These people are gonna go start to buy it up. So there's gonna be no water. It's gonna be terrible, man. Okay, but it says verse 23. It says, "And the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid." Right? Of course, when these alarms start going off, you hearing these sirens going off, there's going to be multiple people afraid, man. It says, verse 24, "At that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. Right? Ain't gonna be no water supply, man. Okay, people thrive off of water, man. Okay, people drink water every day. Okay, but when you have that water supply cut off, that's gonna leave multiple people affected. Okay, and I was reading about you had it with Puerto Rico. Okay, look at that for an example, man. All right, not too long ago, I had the lesson on as well, where it was what 1 point something million people who was affected. Okay, this is the time where we're approaching where everything that you thought was sold to be as normal as possible is not gonna become to be normal anymore, man. Okay, it's gonna get out of hand. It's gonna start to shake people up. You're gonna start to be shaken up because the ways of how America is being ran before ain't gonna be no more. Okay, it's gonna be ran differently. Okay, and like I said, Puerto Rico is a part of the states. So really, it's like it's already beginning to get closer. They're just on the island. How about much more here? What is you this place? The states. All right, multiple states are getting affected by it. You might have it where a couple states might have a power outage, and then a little bit more. Okay, 2 weeks later, then it might be a whole grid. It might be the whole thing. You never know. Okay, but this is what we are approaching. Okay, it says at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies, and that's what we're going to be seeing. You're going to be seeing loved ones. Okay, the scripture says, "Love and many going to wax cold." Okay, you're going to be seeing people who you thought was in love, turn against each other for some pack of water. All right, for some canned food. Neighbors breaking and entering for a piece of meat. Okay, for some bread. For all these things, it's going to get real hectic. Okay, people are going to get real violent, man. All right, well, they show you the sneaker commercial, and this person ain't had a sneaker, haven't ate all day, and they get all aggressive and get violent, and all of a sudden they eat a sneaker, and they're all good and calm. Well, it's going to be a reality of this, and it's not going to be no damn sneaker. All right, it's going to be people actually fighting over actual food supply. Okay, water supply. Hygiene supply, you got some people who can't even function, okay, without taking these medicines, man. So it's gonna get very chaotic, man. Okay, if they say something like this can happen within possible a few days to weeks to months, how much more, for something that could last for than just 1 or 2, 3 months, man. Okay, and that's just hypothetically saying or thinking, man. This place is through. All right, but I'm gonna grab one more precept and I'm gonna close it out. Lord, when you're edified. This is let me see. This is 1 Peter. Let me see. Matter of fact, I think it's 2 Peter. This is 2 Peter. Is this 2 Peter? So I can bear with me. No. It's I know where it's at. It's in Timothy's. So like it. This is 2 Timothy chapter 3, verse 1. It says, "This know also that in the last days perilous times shall come." Okay, so you're going to have great troubles to come. It's not going to get any better. It's not going to get any easier. It's only going to get worse. Okay, and like I said in my previous lesson, all right, the Lord is heating things up. It's only going to get hotter here in America, man. Okay, until those nukes hit ground zero and this place is utterly destroyed and this place is finished, okay, and righteousness is established. All right. So, hey, once again, Lord, when this lesson is edifying to you, I keep my call to seek you in truth and sincerity. Until next time, I say shalom.
There's no other way. They call it sanitizing the digital space. But for the rest of us, it's a forced shutdown of the modern world. If this happens, it won't be about when we get back online. It'll be about who survived after it's over. Global blackout. They're saying it out loud just like